I'm going to begin by telling you about what I knew about God as a child. Now, I had a stepdad who used to say grace before dinner, and it went something like this. Rub-a-dub-dub, thanks for the grub, yay God. And I had an older brother who taught me my bedtime prayer, and it went something like this. Now I lay me down to sleep with a bag of candy at my feet. If I should die before I wake, you know I died of a stomachache. Then I had this one thing that my mom told me about God when I was young. She told me that my relationship with God would be so personal that I would be the only one to know what it felt like, what it looked like, or what it was. It wasn't until later in life that I discovered this would be the one and only way for me to describe my walk with the Lord. I go to church, but if I don't, God's not disappointed in me. I do service, but if I have other things to attend to, God knows my intentions are good. My God is a loving God. He's not a punishing God. I do not conform to guilt trips by pastors or church leaders. I believe that church is a hospital for the sinners, not a home for the saints. I have a personal relationship with God, and I do not feel that I have to earn my way to heaven through deeds. Okay, now have you ever seen somebody running around looking for their glasses when they're wearing them on their head the whole time? Okay, that's funny, right? That's what I looked like before I found the Lord. I was running around saying, "Where's the peace? Where's the love? I can't find happiness." Till one day I discovered it was all living right inside me the whole time. So since then, that's where I go when I need to find the answers, is to my heart, because that is where I commune with God, in His house, my heart. Now, I have shared with you about JBC, Jenn Before Christ. And here's some pictures of Jenn Before Christ. Next, I'm going to share with you about JFC, Jenn Finding Christ. And then I'm going to share with you about JWC, Jenn With Christ. The first time I was aware of God's presence was at my first daughter's funeral. It was at the graveside service at Clequedo Cemetery in Chehalis, Washington. I was standing between my grandmother and the pastor's wife. They were holding my hands on either side of me. And I felt my grandmother give my hand a gentle tug. Just then, the pastor stopped in the middle of his eulogy, and my grandmother whispered to me, "Look what God sent for you." So I looked out at the trees lining the outside of the cemetery, and there was a mother deer and a newborn fawn just standing there looking at us. My grandmother was right. God sent them for me. Now, this was the first time that He came to me. Then He waited for me to come to Him. Now, when my daughter, Courtney, my second daughter, was about 7 years old, we lived in a little tiny town called Bucota, Washington. She had a best friend named Robin. This is her and her friend Robin. We lived about 2 blocks from the church, and she began coming home saying, "Can I go to church with Robin?" So I let her go. So before long, she became what they call a missionette. A missionette is what they call the children in the children's group. And by the time she was a preteen, she was begging me to go to the Sunday services with her, so I did. These are some pictures of my daughter and I at our baptism in the Skookumchuck River. Very cold.